Would you rather be like best mates with Diddy or with R. Kelly? Who would you rather not snitch on?
Well, who would I rather not snitch on?
Yeah.
That's why I hate you, man.
I don't mind the first part. What was the first part of it? Before you had the who would I rather not snitch on?
Yeah, well, it's like, who would you rather be boys with? Diddy or Kales?
Diddy.
But, who would you rather not snitch on? Same.
I honestly don't know.
You just got to pick one, man. Pick one.
I feel like there's a way you can not know what R. Kelly is up to. Diddy, if you're his friend, you're there. You see it all.
Bro, facts.
That's the thing, right? Part of me is like, how cool are these parties? But also, I haven't gone like
participants of the freak off.
Well, we're not participating, right? I'm somewhere playing beer pong against someone. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in the front room playing games. They're in the back room,
playing games.
Well, we're playing cards at the front. They're doing something else at the back. No.
So you going with the Diddy?
I don't really know. I feel as though I personally know less about the Diddy thing than I do the R. Kelly, only because I've watched the R. Kelly doc. I haven't followed any of the Diddy things, so I'm like naive to it all, I guess.
See, I'm the opposite. I just know R. Kelly pissed on someone.
See?
That's why I'm kind of like, I feel like I know less about that one, so I feel like there's a way to have avoided it. Diddy's one, I feel like there's just no way. If you were there, you were there. And you knew it all.
Yeah.
And for this, Sam, I will take Jamie Foxx. I'm going to his parties.
So, Sam, you backing Kels?
I didn't say I'm backing Kels, okay? I didn't say I'm backing no one.
We got to ask the question. We just aren't,
Yeah. It doesn't mean you're pro Diddy, pro Kels. Who has a better song?
I'm pro
Bad Boys for Life, or like Bump and Grind, or remix to Ignition. Ooh. Have you ever heard Ignition? Not the remix?
Yep.
Is it any good? I've only heard the remix to Ignition.
I was at a party and somebody said Ignition. They didn't say the remix, so they put on Ignition.
Nah.
Yeah. Everyone was expecting the remix and they got the original. Everyone was like, oh.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
This ain't it. The whole song didn't get played, so I can only assume it was not very good.
Wow. There you go. Anyway, Modi ore te whānau, no mai hoki mai, welcome back to the practice run, your frontline pass to the hardest sports action, brought to you by 99 Dreams, inspiring others to chase their dreams with your hosts, Rawari Tukoirangi and Sam Tarangi. We're diving deep into the thrilling world of the NRL and rugby league today, and who knows where the game will take us tomorrow. From the try line to the sideline, we've got you covered.
Strap in as we tackle the big plays, the game-changing moments, and the stories that define legends. Whether you're a seasoned vet or this is your first hit-up, the practice run is for everyone. Every run, every tackle, every win, experience the rush with us.
With exclusive insights, couch analysis, and a touch of humour, the practice run is here to keep you entertained, informed, and part of our practice squad. Because here, every practice run takes us one step closer to glory. The practice squad, where every listener is MVP, powering our play every episode, every day.
We'd also like to give thanks to 99 Dreams for powering our passion. Now let's kick things off with today's lineup.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another round of international footy. The final round of the regular fixture. We'll call it regular. I don't know. It's not a season. There's only
the round robin.
2 games. There's only 2 games. I guess this is the end of the regular fixture. The Kiwis take on Tonga, and the Kiwi Ferns are taking on the PNG Orchids. Fuck, that's right. It's Orchids.
Yeah, it's Orchids.
Orchids. We went over this the other day.
Orchids, orchids, all good.
Yeah, all good. Then we will also give you a bit of a yarn about a season review for 3 more teams. Today we've got the Titans, the Warriors, and the Dolphins. But before we get into any of that, a little bit of current news. The latest news out of the Dragons camp is the aging, the ancient one, Ben Can't Catch Hunt, being terminated from the St. George Illawarra Dragons. What's your guys' thoughts and feelings around that one?
What about the news dropping that Ben Hunt's a free agent? It's just a matter of time, right? Good on the Dragons, I reckon. Shane Flanagan in the statement saying no one person's bigger than the club, and he's right. So to finally make that call and just have a clean break, good on him. Good on him for standing up, for themselves. And he's been wanting to leave for so long now. Surprised it didn't happen earlier. I guess they were trying to find, they're trying to get value back for him maybe and sending him where he could go. But yeah, I think it's just a good all round for both of them. Ben Hunt finally gets what he wants, and now he's in control of where he goes. He kind of has a lot of say. I mean, sure, that $1 million contract's gone, but sometimes it's not all about money. But we'll see next year, really. It's not always green on the other side. But yeah, I think it was the best thing to happen. Should have happened earlier, but we're finally here, and I guess both parties can finally move forward. Yeah, that's my little 2 cents on it.
It's about time. Ben Hunt's been trying to get out of there for the last 2 years, so to have it finally happen, I was a little bit surprised the Dragons dug their heels in the first time he asked for a release. Kind of like it just kind of seems nowadays, hey, if someone asks for a release, they kind of get it. Apart from you, Lockie Galvin. Never getting one. Never getting one. But yeah, it was, I was a bit surprised that it's now of all times, it kind of seems a little bit weird. Like I said last week, right, with the Dragons, where if you're bringing all these like older players in, I don't think it makes much sense to get rid of your 7. I think it's more interesting to see where they go now. Is it going to be Kyle Flanagan at 7? Are they going to go looking elsewhere to try and get a 7 for next year? But I mean, getting $1 million off your cap is always going to be good, especially when you're a club that has kind of areas it needs to improve on. So yeah, that's, I don't know, where Ben Hunt ends up is also going to be very interesting. It's kind of the way I look at it. So
yeah, so let's start out some speculations or some good fits for Benja Hunt. Where do you guys think he should go? I also agree with both of you. I guess from where Hunt is, he wants to be gone. He hasn't want to be at that club for a couple of years now. So that's 2 years on since the Hunt debacle that he wanted to get out of there. So I guess Flanagan was just like, you know what, if you still want to go, my bro, fart. And so he's off. So where do you think would be some good destinations for Benja to land?
Good destinations. Not too sure about that one. I mean, he wants to go somewhere Queensland, right? The Dolphins. I mean, that kind of seem to be an obvious one there. Not to say that Isaiah Katoa isn't the answer at 7. He's still quite young. So maybe bringing in Ben Hunt for a year or 2 so we can learn off him, maybe shift him to 6 just to lessen the load and kind of learn behind him or learn with him. So by the time he does go in those 2 years or however long it is, he'll finally be ready to take the helm. I mean, I feel as though he's right thereabouts. So it could be a good one. If he's looking to win, I kind of like, and again, looking at Queensland teams, I'd like the Cowboys. He could just slot in there, right? I mean, put him next to Dearden. They played Origin together. And they kind of have all the pieces there. I would assume that he's an upgrade over Townsend or what's his name, or Clifford. I think Clifford, same Same as Isaiah Katoa, just maybe a few years or a year like learning behind Ben Hunt. Again, so when he leaves, he's kind of finally ready and hits the ground running. Those would be the two teams I would think maybe have a look at him. And then, I mean, Titans, right? Who's their halves at the moment? Campbell and Foran. Foran's is he about to retire? I mean, a Ben Hunt and Kieran Foran halves. Where does that put Jaden Campbell though? So it's
One of them be playing interim hooker.
yeah. Just going off that, I would say Cowboys and Dolphins probably be the two teams. I think it'd be a good fit at the Cowboys. Just they're not far off. You know, they're like a contending team. They got a really good forward pack. They got like almost elite six. I mean, he plays rep. They got the pieces, man. Could he be the missing piece? I don't know. How iconic would it be though? You know, he drops the ball against the Cowboys to go back there. Imagine if he leads them to the final to drop the ball. Like, that'd be crazy, wouldn't it? Almost like complete the loop, I feel. Yeah. That'd be the funniest shit ever, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah. My kind of thoughts with it were like hearing that he wants to go back to Queensland. My first thought was the Cowboys because Clifford, I don't think he's quite ready to be like consistent starting seven, especially not if your aspirations are to try and compete for a title. He still has like moments where he makes really bad decisions. But outside of that, like because obviously you name like the real obvious ones where like if he wants to go to Queensland, every Queensland team needs a seven. They all need a seven. I think the intriguing one would be what happens with Ezra Mam and his contract, and do the Broncos just end up tearing it up?
Ben Hunt's 4 months older than freaking Reynolds.
Doesn't have the injury history though.
That's true.
Like,
If a quarter for another quarter.
Yeah, but if you think about it, right, like your long term is Cody Black, right?
Kobe, yeah, hope so.
Kobe, yeah. Well, how many years away is he?
Shit, he's only 19.
So a lot.
So if you gave him say this year, next year, behind Ben Hunt, like come 21, he could be moving into that role. You might be able to squeeze an extra year out of Ben Hunt, but then that would probably be pushing it a little bit too far.
My issue with that is how much is the salary cap is he expected to eat up? Because I'm looking at Ezra gone, and we locking in Selwyn and Katoni.
I don't know, man. Like that roster's pretty primed to compete if everything's right. So like,
yeah, if all the
also though Ben Hunt's old, right? So like, if you say Ben Hunt, come back to where it started. You're old. If you come here, you have like a pretty good forward pack. You have great outside backs. Yep. It's all here ready for you to compete for a title. Like, but you're gonna have to take unders. You're gonna have to take unders to come here. The other one I kind of thought about. I don't think they have the money for it, but the Bunnies. If he could end up at the Bunnies, Ilias goes to the Dragons, and then maybe they cut a few other players who like can kind of free up that money, because I just have no idea how much space they have. And that puts Cody back to 6, Ben Hunt at 7, Wyden can go back to the centres.
He sucked at fantasy in the centres, man.
I promise you, he sucked at real life in the centres too. But that's where the Bunnies signed him. They signed him to be a centre. That's the only way they got their contract through.
Why does everyone want to be a centre? They suck.
They don't. They want to be fullbacks.
Lomax want to be a centre.
Lomax is just weird.
Hey man, he's been adamant from the start. Centre is his position.
Yeah.
Hey,
he's
you're a winger now.
Yeah, it's all good. He can be a rep winger.
Back to your Bunnies theory. What else do you got for us, Sam?
That's the other one. I'd hate to see it. For the Dogs.
I don't want him.
Yeah, you might not. Gus
we're
might say
rolling.
otherwise.
We're rolling with Sexton. Come on.
We're rolling with Sexton until next week when it's announced that Ben Hunt is at the
We're
Dogs.
rolling. No, we don't want him. Go somewhere else.
Well, I guess I'll throw the spanner in the works then with the far-fetched article that I read through. It went through a whole bunch of different teams. All the Queensland teams were listed. It had the Bulldogs on there, but the very last team on that list, and this is a team located here in Aotearoa, New Zealand, who had their 7 recently retire. The Wars. They're after a 7. Ben Hunt, like we said off camera, could become that cult hero to sort of guide the Wars. Because what I'm looking at next season at the Warriors is it Chanel Harris Tabita at 6, Luke Metcalf at 6, and Tamari Martin at 7. I don't think that's a grand final winning halves pairing. I just don't. You throw Ben Hunt in the mix along with that forward pack. If Rogers on the wing, because they got rid of Montoya, that freed up a wing space. I'm assuming that's Rogers' wing space. I think Ben Hunt could do something out there. But it's just a long way from Queensland. Well, is it? How many Queenslanders we got from Aotearoa, New Zealand? Feel like this is the heart of Queensland. He'll feel right at home.
I like it in terms of like fit wise. You know, I think it makes sense from like a footballing perspective. It's
They
just
need that field
obviously,
general.
yeah. It's just it's a whole nother country and it's further away. You know, like that's like the point. So I'm guessing if he's willing to take, well, one, we already know he's going to take unders, right, to go somewhere. But I feel if he's going to go to a Queensland team, he might be willing to take under 500. Not saying that he will, you know, but he's probably more willing. Where you come to NZ, he's probably saying nothing less than 758. So it might just cost more to bring him over for those factors. But in terms of like, if we're just looking purely from, you know, a football playing perspective, yeah, I think he would fit in well with the Wars. They give him, you know, he's the clear, you know, playmaker there, running the ship. Decent forward pack, you know, outside backs that run hard, RTS there. So the ingredients are there, but yeah, it's more like I feel as if for him to even think about the Wars, that price is going to have to be a lot closer to what he's already on, and then I don't think they can afford him. Where going to a Queensland team, he's more likely to be like, yeah, I'll take even more unders, you know, maybe closer to like a 500. So I think it's more like a pricing thing for him. It's going to cost a lot more for them to get him than it would, say, the Cowboys to get him. That's the only thing that I can see, yeah.
100%. And that's sometimes the price you pay. I mean, you've got more of a chance with some real halves. Can he kick? Like place kick?
I would say no, because I feel as though he would have been kicking by now. You know?
Right. Right.
Because who was the kicker before Lomax? Because he would have been there before Lomax, right? Or before Lomax came through the ranks?
I don't know. Probably, maybe.
And then who was the kicker when he was at Broncos?
Corey Parker.
See?
No one's thinking Corey Parker, though.
I feel as though if he was going to be a kicker in his career, he would have already been one.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But could he kick? You would have to think so. You know? Would you want, you know, your life on the line, you know, pick the line up and I'm picking Ben Hunt? Nah, I'm not.
Like,
I'm not. I'm good.
I've seen Ben Hunt in the moment.
But
like
you know
Dallin put it on the right on the flag post. And with all of Dallin's tries, you need to kick from out wide. Almost all your kicks will be from out wide.
Do we want to have a Knights conversation or nah?
Yeah.
What him going to the Knights?
Yeah.
I think that would work. I think it
I
would
like
fit.
it.
They definitely need a half. You know, him and KP already, you know, they already got some Queensland anal going on. They know how to ride each other out.
You didn't want to throw a gay guy in there as well?
Oh yeah, you know, it ain't a little without a gay guy in there. But yeah, they've got plenty of Queenslanders there to get the job done, and you know that's what the Knights are missing, right? That's what they were missing was a strong halves pairing. I mean, Phoenix had to play in the halves at points when Cogger and Hastings and Price and who was the third? There was like a triangle of halves that couldn't get along.
Cogger, Hastings.
Oh, it's the
Gamble.
one he used to play. Yeah, Gamble.
Tyson Gamble, yeah.
So, you know, they need some stability in the roster. However, you got one of those unks just taking up a lot of cap space, and you know,
Oh yeah, it would be contingent on Hastings going back, on Hastings going to the Dragons.
Yeah, you know,
because
whether or not the Knights are able to shell out enough money for Hastings to go over, because I know the Dragons ain't going to pay that much for no dead ass half that can't produce.
Hey man, Hastings is one of their juniors.
Hastings is amazing at like deval, but when he comes back to NRL, like he's great, and then he's just not. Like he's just too inconsistent.
Tell you one thing, he is elite at. He's elite at pissing everyone off in the club. He does it everywhere he goes.
He's good for like one game. He has that one game. Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, I just like if they need a half for 1 year, Hastings is on 800 at the Knights for 1 year. So what could the Knights pay? Say 300 and say, Dragons man, have your 7 for a year, and that way you guys can go out and chase a Trindle. You guys can go out and chase an Atkinson to come 26 when they're actually off contract, because they can all sign them on Friday. So it's like, you know, like it's a stopgap for 1 year. But like, kind of like what I said last week, right? Like it's a weird roster they've got going on, where they've got all these old guys coming in, and then they let the old guy in the key position leave. Oh yeah, for the Knights it would be amazing if they could make it work.
Yeah, I'd like that. I'd like to see that. So there's plenty of suitors for Brother Benja, but yeah, I guess he is in the driver's seat for where he ends up ultimately, because he's actively a free agent as of this morning. So good luck. I know he'll end up at the team that's willing to fork out for him. Whether or not it will be the right fit for him, we will see.
Is there a world where no one wants him?
Nah, because
what if he prices himself out though?
But then I imagine the Roosters would just come knocking.
Nah, I think there's some team will fricking throw the bag at him just because they're.
Because what are we thinking he's getting?
I think between 650 and 7, like at a team that's desperate, and then you know at a team that doesn't really care either way, between 4 to 5.
I think it's 600, maybe 7. I can't see him going any lower than that, really, because he's on $1 million now with the Drags.
Yeah, but it depends
but
on
he's
who's
not
in the
on
driver's
$1
seat,
million
right?
anymore.
Depends on who's in the driver's seat. If you want to come to my club, then you take in my salary. If I want you to come to my club, I got to take what you want. It's supply and demand.
It's going to be interesting.
Well, the demand for every club is a gun 7. He is that. Granted, he's old, but he is that. He had 30 tries this year.
Bro, he had Lomax. Take all of Lomax's tries away. How many tries does he have?
Well, then who's the winger that's replacing him?
The winger is who?
Lomax. Well, because if we take Lomax out of it, there's got to be a winger that takes a spot. It's not Ravalawa because thing dropped them.
I would expect
Exactly.
like Ben Hunt to get that many tries. So he's the only dude there. He has the
Yeah.
ball in his hand the whole time, so he's expected to get that many. He should be leading the league in assists if
But
you're
all
the
his
only
try
one.
assists came off of those bombs to Lomax that Lomax caught and put down. Would have been more if Lomax never dropped them. But if you take away all of the try assists to Lomax, how many real try assists did he have? Because those kicks, those try assists off those kicks to Lomax relied on Lomax's kick chase ability. They were shit kicks, some of them. Lomax just found a way to get up and get it over the line.
I mean, but you do that with every kicker.
Yeah,
Like,
but you don't have, like, not every team's got like a winger like Lomax ready to go and pluck it out.
I'm well aware. I'm well
So-
aware.
So, you know, like that for me, that particular stat is flawed. Like if it's a short grubber to the other wing, or if it's a pass to a forward, I'll accept that. But like those kicks off of Lomax, that's just an anomaly, and that relied more on Lomax than it did on Ben Hunt.
I don't know. Some of them, yep. But I wouldn't say a majority of them because Ben Hunt's a bloody good kicker of the ball.
Man, I watched a lot of Dragons games this year, man.
I did not. God,
Lomax-
there's no way in hell I
Lomax-
was watching them.
Lomax was just going after anything. He didn't care if there were two men in the air, or no man in the air. He was going after everything, G.
That's been Lomax throughout his career.
But that's what I mean. Like those try assists, they're not really Ben Hunt's. They're just Lomax's. He assisting himself. He wants some stats. He went up and got that ball.
No, man.
So just for me personally, that stat, I can't. If he's trying to come to my club and try to say, oh, I had 30 try assists, I'm saying, get rid of 24 of them because they ain't yours. They
Get
belong
rid
to
of
Lomax.
24 of them.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Do not know.
It'll be interesting. I think he might be. I don't think he'll be one of the first to sign because I think other clubs have other priorities. I think they'll take care of that. Unless there's someone that just comes out the way and goes, yeah, we'll take him right here, right now. Well, especially the contending ones. Unless you think Ben Hunt's going to put you over the top.
The reason why I think Ben Hunt is one of the first ones to sign is because he's available for next year. Like all these other ones that are coming off, outside of like a Gutho and I don't actually know who else, they're all for 26, but you're hoping you can get them for 25. Like Ben Hunt can come now. Can come straight away. So it's. I think
Fano?
they probably put a bit more urgency on getting him signed.
Potentially. Find out. Join us back here on Tuesday because tomorrow is the 1st of November, which means negotiations open and we'll have the entire weekend for teams to negotiate with Ben Hunt. So I think we'll have more news come Tuesday. So make sure to tune back in on Tuesday. Perfect time to plug for another episode of the practice run. Heading over to international season, it has been brought up that Cam Murray is out for 5 months after sustaining a wrist injury at training. Too many fools. Yeah, don't do it, kids. What do we think about that? Does that hinder the Australian team much? They've got a lot of backups. So, and he'll be back in time, 5 months, he'll be back in time for at least week 3, at the very latest, round 3 of the NRL season, but he should be back ready for game 1.
I mean, for Aussie, doesn't really do a whole heap, right? Like, you're just got to go find another edge now, which is probably, Lindsay Smith? I don't really know.
They'd be Hudson Young.
Oh, I forgot they have Hudson Young. I always forget about him. Yeah, it'll be Hudson Young then, and then Cotter's played on the edge a bit for the Cowboys at times, but yeah, I mean, like he's an out and out edge, so yeah, Hudson Young comes in. Maybe we get to see Lindsay Smith in the final.
Is he in the team?
Hey, Lindsay Smith.
Mm.
Yeah, he's in the
Yeah.
He's in the squad.
Do you reckon they risk it?
What's that, Lindsay Smith?
Mm.
I mean, who else do they have? It's a bloody issue with this thing. Once their final 18 gets named, they cut out everyone else. I'm trying to remember who's in their squad.
I'm not too sure. We'll find out next week when Australia take on the winner of this week's game, the Kiwis versus Tonga. Who read the Kiwis last week?
Was it me?
2, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Sam, you read the Kiwis, I'll do Tonga.
Fair enough. All right. Well, this game has been played at Go Media Stadium in Auckland. Kicks off at 8:05 p.m. on, what's it, Saturday? Saturday.
Ooh, okay. I need to make sure I got some charge on the phone.
At fullback, we have
Sam's favourite player.
Nah, you know what? I'll give you your proper name. Keanu Kenny. On the wings, we have Isako and we have Mr. Warbrick. In the centres, we have Tomoko. And the other centre, we have Haku. And the halves again, somehow, we have Chance and we have Sean Johnson. Your props are James Fisher-Harris, who was captaining the side, and Joey Tarpanet with Phoenix Crosland at 9. Our edges are Isaiah Papali'i and Scott Sorensen with Nafahu White at lock. 14th man is Cody Nikorima with Griffin Neem, Niokore, and Leo Thompson back into the side is 15, 16, and 17. And then your 18th man is Aaron Clark.
Nice. And look, over on the Tongan side, let's go. Lehi Hopoate, Daniel Tupou, Mosese Suli, Po Alamoti, Sione Katoa, Toi Moala Lolo here, Isaiah Katoa. At the forwards, their captain, Adam Whenua Blake, Havili, Felici Kaufusi, Homole Olakoatu, Elisa Katoa, and Jason Taumalolo round out your starting lineup. Then on the interchange, we have Suni Luke, Satili Tupu Niua, Tanyala Paseka, and Siua Wong. And their 18th man is Tolotau Gola. Even their 19, 20, and 21 is stacked. How is Kion Kolomatani in the reserves?
Well, he's away. His partner's about to give birth.
So he's not going to make it.
No.
But maybe.
Nah, I think he's just out this week.
Fair enough. You know what, brother? Good luck. Hope she has a safe and, what do you call it? Proper delivery. Hope baby and mama are healthy and happy, and you are blessed. Big fan. I'm a big fan.
Put her on a plane, get it to New Zealand.
Brother, could have just brought him over here, be born here, my brother. Can be a Kiwi. Look, an unchanged side for the Kiwis. How do we feel about that?
Unchanged starting side, yeah.
Well, I mean, the only difference is we've added Leo Thompson and dropped Jordan Ricky. Otherwise, unchanged.
Yeah. I don't know. Are they going to let Chance play? Or are they just going to have him out there to tackle?
What, you mean tackle?
Didn't Chance make like 25 tackles?
How many he missed? Some key ones, man. It was just a poor defensive effort from the Kiwis last week. Poor defensive efforts from the Kiwis last week, and I don't see much changing. I don't think Tonga has the offensive capabilities that the Kangaroos, have. But I still don't think we got a great wall of defense. like our fullback, great on attack, but as last line of defensively, maybe Chance should drop back and Kinney come forward until fifth, and then Kinney drop out of the line and Chance goes back into the line. Because, my man, Australia broke our line like almost every run. And then you got props running at him. He's too small, man. These boys are thick. They're big. We saw zero attacking from our team last week. How are we going to manage that? There's so many questions. There are more questions and answers that I have for this Kiwi side. And I don't think this game is going to answer any of them.
I think the boys will be a lot better because of that first game. Kind of got the cobwebs out. Kind of got the chance to actually be on the field together and experience what it's like to play with one another. So I think that would be good for it. I mean, am I surprised about the team that they named? Not really. I don't know what else they could have done. I mean, they could have maybe shifted players to new positions, but in terms of the 17 that were going to get named, I don't think there was ever going to be a change. I think Stacey showed his hand when he named this team last week. So yeah, but oh look, man, I don't know. It's the forward pack solid, Leo Thompson's. He gives us that punch off the bench along I think him and Griff be a great combo. That means Marato doesn't actually have to come into the middle. Well, depending on what happens with our starting props and locks. But, he can now just shift to an edge if need be. To give... Who is it? Is it Papali? Yeah, I was saying, Scott Sorensen a break. And then you can have Cody. I don't know. I feel as though Cody, they might have to bring him on a little bit earlier.
Yep.
See if he can, he should really be the game breaker for us. I don't know how you do that, whether you bring him on in the ball playing lock position at 13 or you take him to 9, Phoenix goes to 13 or whatever. Just try something new, maybe a bit of speed around the forward pack, especially with the when the Tongan team gets a little bit tired. Could be a key difference or something that they could try. And then, yeah, I mean, obviously Sean Johnson's going to have to play both sides. It's kind of no way around it. If they want to spark the attack, he's going to have to swing both sides. Or again, I think that's why Cody coming on a little bit earlier and then going to 13, or him going to 9 and Phoenix going to 13, just so one of them's the first ball receiver. Because I think Chance is okay. We've seen him being fullback. He's okay being a ball player, but it's when he's getting it. He's never the first receiver, right? He's always getting it on that second pass. So having someone else get it first, then go to him, might help him out a little bit. But yeah, obviously I think they can get it done. I do expect them to win this game. It might not look pretty, but all they have to do is win there, and then take another week under their belt. They'll be a lot better for it. Keanu Kinney, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. He's pretty exciting when he has the ball. Defense, it is what it is. I mean, sometimes you're just too small. I think he tries hard, like that Lomax try. I mean, he was there, just Lomax just bigger, it happens, I mean, I've seen Teddy get run over a few times by, Micah Sevo. It wasn't like Teddy wasn't there. Micah's just bigger, it happens. So yeah, but I think Kinney will be. I actually think he'll have a good game. I think what he did for us last week was exciting. He just, I think, to me, when I look at this back line, he's really the only one that could break it open and do something out of nothing. I mean, Warbrick, yeah, he had that moment against Zach Lomax. Peter Hiku, I feel as though he's just a lot more wiser now. Matt Timoko should be a game breaker. I think if you can get him early ball, And then, Jermaine Asako, he's a pretty good finisher. Obviously, great kicker. Chance, I don't know, just him at 6. I don't know. You kind of want him to run the ball, don't you? And then Sean Johnson, still good enough to pull the strings, but he's going to have to do everything, I feel. And then, yeah, that's kind of like how I see this Kiwis team going. Bring on Cody a little bit earlier, maybe into ball playing position, take advantage of the tiring Tongan forwards, and then hopefully let the backs finish it off and have a better game. Yeah, that's about all I got.
Yeah, you know. Kenny, 14. Love that one. Put him at 14. Let him come on when they're tired. I just... If they're not going to use Chance as a 6, right, then I don't know why he's there. With a Tongan team that's so big, if they break the line, they're going to run over Kenny. Chance might give you a better chance at it. So I'd start him. I would start Chance at fullback, and then...
I think the only reason is because they don't have another 9.
Aaron
So
Clark
Nicolima
has
is
played
there.
9.
He's played it, but he's...
I promise you this, I'd rather see Aaron Clark play 9 than I would Kenny play fullback against Tonga.
We're going to get no run meters out of 9.
We didn't get any last week.
Oh, yeah, that's concerning, though, right?
Well,
Why
it's
is
also...
Crossland, who's like a pretty good runner out of 9, not get any chances?
It's also the fact that he just hasn't played there all year. Like I think, like if he had played there all consistently and he was comfortable there, I think you would have seen him like have those few opportunities to dart out of 9 rather than I think the one he took. But I mean, if Cody's at 6, right, I don't think he necessarily has to run out of 9. Like at least if Cody's in at 6, they're gonna look that way rather than what they did with Chance there, where they looked there and said, "Nope, we're coming back to Sean." That's that. But Leo, like I want to talk about Leo. Leo is a pretty big inclusion for us, right? Like I felt like last week, Griff was solid off the bench. Nia Kore was solid off the bench, but like they didn't really have the impact I thought we should have off the bench. Like I think Leo can actually bring that. And if you get Griff and Nia Kore to do what they did last week along with Leo, I think we have a pretty good chance to do a lot of good things, because like one thing we saw against Aussie, right, is that Tongan forward pack does tire.
Yeah.
Does tire. And we don't have to ask James to play, what did he play? 40, and then he also started the second half, right?
Yeah.
Right, well, like we don't have to ask him to do
Did he
that. So
60 minutes total?
I think he did more.
I felt like
He
he
might
played
have
the
done
whole
more.
game almost.
That was just definitely noticeable when he wasn't on.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, you know, like Leo's like a massive inclusion for us, right? So it's like, I'm a bit more like I don't think we're gonna lose that, but that's also not specifically because Leo's in the team. It's more because Lolohia's on the other team. I just don't see him putting together enough points to really get them over the line. I struggle, man, because Tonga's just going to be I keep looking at Kenny's name. I hated it last week. Cooley ran the ball back. But yeah. Timoko, like to your point too, when you said of him about being a game breaker, I think he can be, but yeah, it revolves around them getting the ball. Around him getting the ball, early ball, but them actually going down that edge. Which I don't know. If chances are they going to do it?
I think what really needs to happen is Crossland and Johnson need to pull their fucking heads in and figure out when Crossland's passing it to Johnson and when Johnson doesn't want it. Because in that last game, Crossland was just trying to feed it to Johnson every time, and sometimes Johnson didn't want it, so he ducked the ball, and then we're losing 20 meters because he ducked the ball for no damn reason except that it was fourth tackle, and he knew that no one else is going to kick this damn ball except him. So he had to pass, he had to just pass the buck and drop his damn head.
tell you what she'll need to do: catch the ball and pass. Catch
The
the ball and pass.
Aussie defense
I've
was
never.
already rushed up on him.
Have you ever seen a 7 be in there and be like, oh yeah, cool, not me?
Well, it's because there were times there that Australia were offside. They were rushing quicker and they were at him as soon as that ball was pretty much out. So you knew they were back 10. But the ref
Yeah.
didn't.
Nah, that ref was never doing anything against Aussie.
Bruh.
But that's also like, yeah, right? Like that was the way we played. We played like we were never going to give Chance an opportunity to play. So when that's your 6 and you look at everyone else in that team, you're like, well, cool. The attack's only coming from one position. Like that's just why I think they need to start Cody. They need to start Cody, and I'll be damned if I want a small fullback against a massive Tongan team. But yeah, I just...
Look, they're definitely investing in the future in this particular instance. Kenny will be part of this Kiwis team in the future. He definitely needs to work on that defense, 100%. But let's look to this Tongan side. We've talked a lot about the weaknesses of the Kiwis. We obviously don't have too many strengths. Our strength probably could lie in other players if the ball got to them. And I do know that we'll get some good impact off the bench. Big Griff, I'm looking forward to seeing Big Griff back out there. Bro, he looks like a corn-fed colossus out there, eh? Like, what did they feed that boy down in Greymouth? Holy hecker. Brother must have lived near that mine, eh? And just inherited superpowers. Holy hecker. We're going to need it. You know, we're going up against the mountain. Taniela Paseka coming off their bench. Satili, that's another great pick there. You got Tom Malolo, Ali Katoa, who's a prolific try scorer in the NRL and couldn't cross the line versus Australia. You know, this Tongan team came up scoreless versus the Aussies. We managed to put some points on, so by that very logic, we should get over them. But what are some of the danger points from this Tongan team that you guys are looking forward to?
Looking forward to?
Yeah, man, it's exciting when you see some of these big boys get over the line.
I mean, it's Olakuatu, right? Like just if him and Lolo here can kind of get on the same page, that would be awesome. It'd be awesome to see, right? Because you get to see just Olakuatu just ripping into the Kiwis. But the only real consistency I saw them have was when Olakuatu would run under Tui, so he literally just had to drop the ball off. That was really the only time I really saw any consistency in that. But like Olakuatu had some really good moments against Aussie. Just he was kind of by himself for a lot of it. And like once he got tired, that's kind of just where all the attack went. But yeah, I think Olakuatu will be a fun one to watch. I'm trying to find the team again. Adam?
Olakuatu is the one, right? Like the X Factor one. Like the game breaker can take control of a game almost single-handedly.
Can you fix your mic?
Oh, is that? What about there? Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
I moved the thingy majingy.
I was wondering if it was my headphones. I was like, oh.
I was like, bro, you sound like you're in a fish tank.
Oh, my bad. It's because I knocked it before. I
Oh.
was scared I dinged your guys' ears. But yeah, I mean, Olakuatu's the dude. So if anything's going to happen, it's probably going to be around him. So you would hope the game plan's to bloody stop him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And not rely on Kinney to stop him?
I mean, if it's
Yeah.
getting to Kinney, right, that's... Oh, no, actually, no, we're going back to the Kiwis now. It's better stay on Tonga.
Yeah, I was going to bring it up. Like, I was like, just thinking about it now, I was like, oh, if they put Kenny in the front line, oh, hell no. Hell no. It'd be even worse, but yeah. Like, Olakuatu. Katoa's an interesting one, right? Because every time I watch the Storm, a lot of his tries came off kicks, came off the tap back, off a kick. Like, they don't really have the halves to put the contestables there, even though like they've got a great option to do it in Daniel Tupou. Like he is so bloody tall, but they just don't kick it out to him. Like so like Ali Katoa, like he's a great try scorer, but if he's not even getting the chance to because there's no kicks going over that way, then I don't really know what they're gonna do because from what I remember of that Tonga Aussie game, right? They basically only really attacked down Olakuatu's edge. Like, they didn't really look the other side.
Who's the half? Who's his half? Olakuatu.
Oh, his half. No, his one's Lolo here or was on when they played Aussie.
See on Lolo here's side. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
You thought he would be on Katoa's side because he's on DCE's side, right? When he plays for Manly.
Yeah, but that's Katoa's side as well.
Oh, did they both play that side?
Yeah, they both play that side.
Okay.
Because I wondered who was missing out on their side, and they put Olakuatu on the other side.
Really? Wonder why. Wonder if they just think Olakuatu's Olakuatu, so he's devastating wherever.
Yeah.
So we'll just put him on.
Hey, he's most devastating. Not even playing against Queensland in there.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a great point you bring up about utilizing their wings. DT out there, even Katoa, he's a pretty wicked winger. We've seen what he was able to do with the Sharks most of the season. Not too sure about their centres. Paul, I just don't like his name.
Bro, Alamotti against Aussie was really good in that first 15 minutes. And then we just never saw him again.
Fatigue, my boy.
He was the one that was guarding Turbo, eh? Was he?
Nah, he had the hammer.
He was on the hammer.
Oh, hammer. Because I've seen a few plays where hammer did him.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, that's what happened. Fatigue,
he was
my boy.
No. He was on that side.
I do think, Lolo here probably is their weakest link, considering he's like their most capped player.
What?
He is, right?
I don't mind him. Yeah.
Yeah, but like,
no.
Is he going to be your game winner? Like, on the line, he's going to put in that kick. He's going to put in that pass. He knows how to set up that ball runner so he can...
He's got the ability to. It's just whether he can do it on the day.
The thing that's tough, right, is that like Lolo here kind of has to be their creator. They don't have it at 9. Katoa's a bit too young to ask him to do it consistently at international level. Lehigh's just got the job at fullback, so like a lot of the playmaking does revolve around Lolo here, and he's just he's not up to it, right? If he's the one you're asking to do, most of it,
the heavy lifting, eh?
Yeah, like if they had a bit more creation at 9, it might be easier because that way they don't have to think, was it going to be a crash ball or is it just out the back?
Yeah,
like
Katoa, you can rely on him to get you that clearance. If you get him sort of pinned back down, you know that he can kick for clearance.
Yeah.
That's about all we saw from him in Australia.
He made a few like rookie errors too in that game.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen all the comments and everyone weren't too happy about him.
But what's exciting about this Tongan team is this is bones. They got some like good bones in this team now that come the next World Cup. Hopefully they find a 6 out there coming through the ranks that's somehow Tongan.
They got him. He's at the Tigers.
Oh, fucking Latu, yeah.
True. Yeah.
He's the 6 coming through.
And what about their 9 coming through? Do they have a 9?
I don't know about their 9.
Sonny Luke.
Yeah, Sonny Luke should have bloody... I swear there were talks about him being the 9 for the Penrith for a few years and just didn't materialise. I don't know.
He needs the opportunities. Like the issue is he's never going to get it with Mitch Kenny because Mitch Kenny doesn't get injured. Mitch Kenny's just also just fucking whacks people consistently on defense. Like Mitch Kenny's not creative out of dummy half. Boy, is he good on defense. Boy, is he good on defense. And if you give him the chance to run, he's not afraid to go hit it up. Like The other one that like might give the Kiwis a bit of trouble if he's on is Paseka. Paseka has a chance to like really impact this game, but then he also has the chance to just not show up.
That's true.
So which one they get? They probably don't make the final if Paseka doesn't show up. If he does show up, well, he's not showing up in the final.
That's true. That's true. Well, that about wraps up as much of the preview as we can give you about these two. There's not much more that we can say about these two teams. It's just got to let it play out. So let's head over to Sunday now, 3:55 p.m. Papua New Guinea Orchids take on the New Zealand Kiwi Ferns. Where is this being played? This is being played at Santos. Where the hell is Santos?
I'm assuming that's Papua
National
New Guinea,
Football
right?
Stadium in Port Moresby.
Yeah.
Buzzy. So that's where they've gone. Okay. Sam, you do PNG, 2 you do the Kiwis.
Damn. I was really hoping to do my big plays and paydays. Do you want to start? Yeah, you start us too.
Do you want me to start it off?
Let me work out how to say some of these names.
Just give me a big shot. I had them last week.
I don't know how to say the bloody fullbacks. You start us with the Kiwis, eh?
Anyway, yes. This is your Kiwis Ferns team named to take on the PNG Orchids. Is that how it?
Yeah, it's an orchid.
Yeah, Orchids. On Sunday at 3:55. Where's this being played again? Port Moresby. Alrighty. At fullback we have Shanice Parker. Your wingers are Mackenzie Wiki and Leana Tufunga. The centres are Mele Hufanga and Abigail Roach. Is that how you say it? Yep, that's how you say it.
Yep.
Your halves are Gail Borton and Tyler King. To the forward pack we go. We have Brian Clark and Alexis Tuanai. Your props were Brooke Anderson as the hooker. Second rows we have Nevada. Oh, is that it? Nevada. I'm going to assume that J is silent. George and Amber Hall is your second row. And then at 13 we have Georgia Hulley. She is also the captain. On the bench we have Ashley Quinlan, Otessa Pule, Brooke Talataina, and at 17 Angelina Teakaranga Katoa. Yeah.
Oh, no 18th man, huh?
Oh, and then at 8, the 18th lady is that Shalea Robbins Reti?
Isn't it Chayel?
Nah, surely it's not Che. It's got to be Shay. Yeah.
Chayel.
Shayeli. I'm gonna go with one of those two.
Yep.
You got to do your 18th woman, G.
Oh shit! Hold on. Huh?
Give it your best shot, bro. Give it your best shot.
All right. Yeah. For the PNG Orchid, we've got Shay Yvonne. It's Yvonne, right? Yvonne. De La Cruz.
Yvonne.
We've got Mala Mark on the wing. We've got Liana?
Oh, yeah.
That's how it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Liana Ellen, try the winger. Your centres are...
You got it.
Belinda. My sister Belinda, yeah. Belinda
Go ahead with Jen.
Guasama? Yep.
What's up, man?
Jenny Wesley is your other centre. At 6 you've got, is that an A? Oh, yep. Sarah Koroi. 7 you've got Ua?
Yeah,
Ua
sure.
Ravu.
Sure.
Your starting props and captain is it just Elise Albert? Elise?
Yep. It is now.
LSA? Lucy?
What is it,
Albert.
Elsie?
Bro, not a clue. I've never. Yep. Yeah. S.A. Banu is your other prof. S.A. Therese.
The Reese.
Bro, it's Therese.
Yeah, I see it.
Therese Aiton at 9. Bro, I'm so sorry. Like, it's. I haven't heard these names. Layla Kirawa at 11.
Or even the white girl got a hard name.
I don't know how you qualify, but Emily Valvers? What? Oh, Vavers. Oh, it's an I, bro. Vavers. And then your 13 is Sarika Moka? Luca? One of the two. Delilah, your 14th is Delilah. Oh. Delilah Ahus. And then shout out number 15. Shout out number 15, Jessica Reeves. 14, Gloria Copa. 17 is Valanda.
That's a Y.
Oh, is it? Oh, Yolanda. Oh my god. Bro, I've got tears in my eyes. Yolanda Talti. And your 18th woman is Lila Malabag? Yep, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
Man, I'll tell you right now, send for me in the comments. I got time to reply to you.
To be fair, man, that is difficult. We were cracking up because we couldn't pronounce it either. When you were getting to the names, I was cracking up. I was like, gee, I have no clue. I can't even help you.
And I will officially retire from reading the PNG Orchid name ever again.
Gee, I reckon the ladies got some difficult names, man. They got some difficult names.
I mean, we just never hear them, right? So, like, we don't even have a clue. But we'll know. We'll know come Saturday.
Come Saturday? Well, no, we won't. They'll butcher it too.
But we'll know how they say it, so we can blame them.
Fair. You know, one day we could try and reach out to some of these players and get them on the show, see if we can get them to pronounce. That would be hilarious.
Not the way I've just butchered them.
No, because I feel like in the way we'd pronounce them, we give it like a Maori tone to it, like koroi. It might not be koroi. That's just how we pronounce things.
Yeah.
So I was like, interesting. It might be a dialectual thing for us and difference there. But anyway, let's take a look at this. So this Kiwi Ferns team is a lot different to what we saw last week versus Australia. No Tiana Davison, no Api Nichols, and no Anessa Biddle. We see Mackenzie Wiki out there, the big Reuben. It's his daughter. She is a phenomenal player. She also plays for her father's old team. She plays for the Green Machine, the Canberra Raiders. I wonder if she'll join the Warriors because, you know, they're coming back. Interesting. I'll be interested to see, you know, how she goes playing outside Mile Hufanga. I was hoping Miller would break the game open a little bit more last week. You know, she's a bit of a wrecking ball. Get her on a downhill run and hard to stop. But we didn't see too much of that. I'd also like to see Tyler King just run it a little bit more. You know, sevens background. Let me see you use that footwork. Let me see how them feet work, Miss King, or Mrs. King, sorry. Not going to lie to you, Fano. The forwards, not quite as, you know, I know who they are. No idea. This PNG team, yeah, sorry team. I know all the Australian players. I watch their teams play. I watch the Knights, the Titans, the Broncos. Yeah, those are the only three teams I watch.
There's three more than me. I mean, like if I am to put a game on, it is the Newcastle Knights, and I think that
Yeah.
was maybe twice this season.
The Roosters went really well, and I know a few players from the Sharks as well. But look, let me give a quick breakdown on this. I think the Kiwi Ferns have a lot of confidence holding the Australian team to, I think, what was it, like 16 points?
14.
14, there we
yeah.
go, 14 points. 70 points less than what PNG could hold Australia to. So we've got to bring in a lot more confidence into this game, knowing that, one had 84 scored on them, the other had only 14. 70 points the difference. So as long as the Kiwis can get over the line and maintain that defense that they showed last week, especially in that first half, 6-0 for the entire first half. I thought the Kiwi Ferns did really well, so I'd like to see them replicate that, but for at least 65 minutes this week in particular. I'm looking forward to seeing, Gail do her thing out there and Mackenzie Wiki sort of carrying on that Wiki legend, that Wiki Whānau legacy. Anything from you, lads?
No, not really. Other than, I do expect Wahine to get up for this one and come away with a dub. I think it'll be a good learning process for them. Hopefully they can pull off a few moves, set pieces, dominate up front, get good go forward ball, and maybe we'll see the running game of Tyler King and Gail Broughton and see what they can do. But yeah, I do expect them to get the job done. Do we know why Api Nichols isn't? Is she injured?
PNG.
Oh,
No.
so it is
Yeah,
just
I'm
because
not-
PNG. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought a few of them were injured coming out of last game.
Oh, did she get injured? I don't know.
I don't know.
But
I thought
I
that's
think. Let me Google.
Because, obviously to me, she's one of the best players on our team. She's all class. So if they want to just rest her before what we think will be a rematch against Aussie, or it should be, then fair enough. But I'm
She's
wondering.
going back to the Warriors.
Api Nichols?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing that. But yeah, I expect big games from them. A comfortable win, but I think more so than anything, just building for next week's game. Obviously you have to respect the PNG side. Give them the respect they deserve. But hopefully this game will be over after halftime, so the girls can just have a bit of fun, work on their moves, work on their set pieces, and build for next week. That's about all I got really. Can't really comment on the PNG side. Sorry.
Oh, she played for the Otahuhu Leopards.
Yeah, I watched, a little bit of that Aussie PNG game. It seemed relatively, not relatively. It seemed too easy at parts. Just in terms of it was very basic catch and pass that kind of led to a few of the tries. So I'd very much assume based on that performance that if the Kiwi Friends just kind of nailed the basics, they're gonna somewhat complete their way to probably fatiguing that team, and then they will have their opportunities there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd imagine the Kiwi Friends are gonna run up a decent score line, but probably not.
No, 84.
Nah, probably not 40 or maybe high 30s, but
We also got to be a little bit lenient on the Wahine because their game is still in the infancy. They haven't had as much funding or support in the grassroots level for a lot of these players that are currently playing. As for, their children are going to have a well-developed system, and, we'll see some great competition coming through in the coming years.
Wow. I think you can't even bid on the girls' game.
Yeah, you
No.
can.
Or you can't bid on the. Oh wow!
Can you not?
Can you? No, because I couldn't bid on the Aussie PNG game.
Pacific Champions women.
Yeah,
Fiji
so
women
you can
Papua New
only.
Guinea.
The only thing you can bid on is like the line.
Oh, you can't even bet. You can't even put money on Kiwis. It's just TBD.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like that when I tried to bet on on the Aussie game, the
You
Aussie
can-
PNG game.
You can during the season for the NRLW.
Yeah.
Let's head over to our season review. Remember, it is surprises, letdowns, needs for next season, one key highlight or standout moment from the teams, and giving them their alphabet grade. We're starting off with the Gold Coast Titans. I think Sam's turn to start. Sam, me, then two.
Surprises for the year. Probably Jaden Campbell, like kind of establishing himself as a 6. I think we all went into the season saying they've got 2 fullbacks, and then Kinney emerged and made it 3 fullbacks. So yeah, it's probably Jaden Campbell. I wasn't when I had seen him play at fullbacks, like he had flashes of being a really good player, but more often than not, it was not looking good. With what's his name? This is how bad it is. The bro's always injured, and I forgot. There's 6 centre fullback.
AJ.
Yeah, AJ. He just needs to get healthy, right? He needs to get healthy. Tino needs to get healthy, and they might start putting things together. Another surprise was there were periods there where they had really good defense for 1, 2, 3 games, and then for the next month they would just concede every try they could. So that's kind of my surprise is the defense at times, and then defense negatively at times. Disappointments. Their defense for most of the season. But like overall, I think the Titans are kind of heading in the right direction, right? Like they've got Des, they've got an established coach, they've got some players who look like they've got like something to build around. You've managed to keep Fafita, you've managed to keep Tino when they both could look elsewhere. Verrills at times looks really good. Other times kind of looks like what he is, which is a bit of an inexperienced 9. And then you've got 2 really good wings. You've got a try scorer who could probably work a little bit more on other areas. But then you've got Jojo who's pretty good in other areas. It just maybe needs a few more opportunities down that edge. Needs for next year. Health. Health is a real big thing. Like, if they can consistently field a team, right, like then they can kind of build on that, and rather than being in and out all the time, like Bo Firmwell missed a decent amount of time as well. So yeah, I think their main needs are health and then potentially a Ben Hunt, maybe. One key moment, one key highlight, probably putting it on the Warriors. That was probably the highlight of the season. And then overall grade. I don't know, maybe like a B. B? Like considering their preseason, like they're going into the season, right, you would have expected them to be like somewhat decent. And they had the injuries, and then they started off just so bad. But then they picked it up for a bit, and then, yeah, they kind of went back to being bad. So, yeah, I think it's a B all around, but maybe a B. Nah. They were better than I thought they would be this year. Basically, is the way my grade worked out. Hey, what about you guys?
Yeah. Surprises, I'd say Keanu Kinney as their rookie, being their breakout star this season, and Campbell being a quality 6 for them. My letdowns, it'd be that slow start to the season. Had the Titans, been able to get at least 1 or 2 victories before Anzac Day, because Anzac Day versus the Warriors at Mount Smart Stadium was their first victory of the season. They almost got one the week before versus Manly, but it was against the Warriors. For them to take so long to get a win, that'd be my biggest letdown for them, because had they had that plus they strung along a couple other wins, they could have been a lot closer to the top 10 than what they finished up being. My key highlight would probably be the plethora of tries they scored versus the Broncos when they were at home. Awesome game for the Titans. The fans, they all fucked off about halfway through. It was a sold out game, and then by the end of it, it looked dead. There was about 1,200 odd Titans fans still left in the building. The rest were all Broncos fans, travelled down from Brisbane and couldn't handle watching their team lose. So yeah, that'll be my key highlight or standout moment from that team. Their needs for next season, like you said, Sam, just healthy. They've got the pieces. If they can just string a few healthy games together, 9-year Tino can actually get out on the field and give back some of that career contract he's stolen from the Gold Coast fans, then yeah, they could do a lot. But what else do I think they need next season? I think they need more support from their fans. The fans they do have, loyal, loyal to a fault. They're there through the thick and the thin, and there's a lot of thin, not a lot of thick. They don't have a lot to cheer about, but the true fans, they're super loyal. I think if the fans, did a little more to get behind their team would do wonders, especially in those close games. So Titans fans, get out there and support your team. I'm with you, Sam. It's a B grade for me.
Interesting. For me, the biggest surprise. What did I have? Didn't even write it down. Probably along the likes of you two, Keanu Kinney, the emergence there. I think we'd only heard of him. And there were big reps on him coming through. So for him to actually come through, I mean, he won, the Player of the Year. He won the top award at their team prize giving. So that goes to show how big of an impact he did have. The letdown for me was probably their start. I think a lot of people had them either making it 8 or just missing, and their start just almost ruined it.
Yeah.
Obviously, they had injuries galore. But yeah, I think the expectations were a little bit... Maybe they were just a little bit too high for, where they were going, given they had a new coach. But, Des Hasler is a proven coach, but he also has a system or the way he does things. So maybe the roster that he had didn't quite match up with the style of play that he wants, or what he's known for. But hopefully, given time, no doubt Desi Hasler will have his imprint on the team, and we do expect him to get better. Needs, what did I write down? I wrote down they need to sort out the AJ Brimson situation. He's too good, man. Like he's so talented. Talent-wise, he might be their best player, and they had a little run there where he was their fullback, and he just gives you a reminder of why he's so good. And, he's a rep player. He's definitely got the chops to be there. He's been Origin level, and he's been really good at Origin too. So I don't know where they play him. He was meant to be the long-term fullback. Jaden Campbell come through. They shifted him for Campbell. And then Kinney come through, so they shifted Jaden, and then he got shifted again to centres. I think he proved he's not a centre. Centre in the pinch, yeah. But he's too good to be your full-time centre. He needs the ball. I don't know how you figure it out. There's rumours maybe you play him at 14, come on, bring him in the middle, ball playing lock, He'd be devastated there. Give him tired forward, and you just give him permission to run, or he's the first receiver, pretty much acting like a third half there. That could be dangerous, but he's too good to not have him one on the field. You just need to figure out, and maybe that's if you lose a Jaden Campbell, it might have to be the price you pay. Because
I think it was. Oh, sorry.
No,
I think it
you're
was.
good. You're good.
I think it was Gordy who said, maybe it's in preseason. He said Brimson's their most talented player, but he's also the most versatile of the three. So it's kind of like he almost gets shifted about where they need because he has the talent to excel in all those positions.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's proven he's not an elite level center. So
Yeah.
it's almost, I wonder if they potentially look at trying to move him for someone. Like, could they move him to kind of like get, say, another really good middle, or could they move and try get, like someone who is an out and out center, and then
True that.
yeah, because it's just kind of like they're in a tough spot here where they've got 3 really good young guys, but they all kind of play the same position, or 2 of them play 6, all of them play fullback, and just it's just kind of. Do you potentially move Brimson because he's also the most injury prone?
I mean, you have to take that into account.
Yeah.
You'd be silly not to. I feel as though I just know that out of the 3, I just know I'm picking AJ first, personally. He's too good. I mean, I know he's injured history yet, but on their day, if you just pick them, if you were just picking a team and you line them up, I don't think there'll be many that won't pick AJ first.
Yeah.
It's just,
I'm the same. Yeah, like I'd take AJ first.
Yeah, so I think that's a need. You got to sort that out. You got Campbell Gillard coming in, so he should solidify. He should solidify their forward pack. I mean, 9-year tenor for Tueka. Campbell Gillard. That's a hell of a starting. 8-10-13. Fafita on one edge, Bo Firma on the other. I mean, you got what? Khan Pereira and Joe Fafita on your wings. Like, it's a solid team. Maybe you add Ben Hunt in there. Hey.
Endless possibilities.
Yeah.
Endless possibilities.
Anyway, to me, they underperformed. I thought they were going to be a lot better than what they did. I know they were injured. So I actually gave them a way lower grade than you two. I gave them a C-.
Ooh, okay.
That also played into the fact because their record was 8-16. That kind of went into it. So yeah, that was my grade.
Yeah, I gave them a little bit higher of a grade because I didn't really understand everyone's like expectation of the Titans. Because yeah, it was Des. It's his first year there. Like, it was always going to be really tough given Holbrook doesn't do anything like this. So now they were learning everything completely new.
Yep.
And on top of that, their key players, they have a tendency to miss games. The other thing I wanted to go back to was the fans. It's tough when they split half their fan base with the Warriors, man. It's bad when you rock up somewhere and the away team has more fans there than you, and it's because they all live in the Gold Coast. But
speaking of the Warriors, that's our next team. So I'll lead us out. I'll go me to then wrap up with Sam. So the Warriors surprises. Damn, I don't know if that's a surprise or a letdown. Is how well Chanel Harris-Tavita kicks. It surprised me, but it also let me down. No, look, one of the surprises for me was, and I guess it is the letdown, is much like the Brisbane Broncos, how you could have such a huge 2023 and then that fall off, that the distance between like the Broncos 2023 and Broncos 2024 is so huge. And I think the same of the Warriors 2023 and the Warriors 2024. 2023, they were superhuman. 2024, They were back at Mount Smart, the standard Warriors, doesn't matter, the Stacey era, the Lars Hire era, the prime Shaw Johnson era. This disappointing. They were back to normal, human again. Although they had to overcome a lot of injuries, it was just surprising to me that the Warriors were able to fall off so big in comparison to last year with the new coach, and they were building a lot. And they gained Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, which brings me to my letdown. Their inability to find a place for Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. They try to force him into centre. Yes, at times there weren't any other centres to play because they were all injured, but they try to force Roger into the square peg as a circular object, and it just, or as a circle hole, he was a square object, whatever that saying is. But it was just, they kept trying to run him at centre. He didn't work at centre. His second best position is on the wing if he cannot play fullback. And it doesn't look like he's going to be playing fullback anytime soon because they still have Chancellor Klosted on the roster. They just re-signed Shane Tuopiki, who I'm assuming is going to be their fullback of the future. So they've let go Marcelo Montoya. Roger, I'm assuming, goes to the wing. Pompey and Berry will be your centres. And then, it'll play out how it plays out. Needs for next season definitely is a 7. They need a 7 that can kick and a 7 that can control the game and allow the 6 to do what the 6 needs to do, but the 7 needs to be able to game manage. They need to be able to kick out, not on the full, but, kick into space, get a scrum, and, give your forwards a break when it's been an intense back and forth battle like it has been so far for the Warriors. There wasn't too many times where they'd manage the game and, just kick it out, grab the ball out or try for 40-20s and things like that, where other teams are more likely to make those sort of gambles. One key highlight or standout moment for me this year from the Warriors. What would it be? Shit, I don't even know, man. I watched so many Warriors games. I was on the bandwagon until I wasn't. The cop-out answer, I guess, is Game 2 versus Melbourne Storm in Melbourne. Dylan Martinez-Elizniak's, try of the season. And then Xavier Coates just one-upped him moments later and stole that mantle. However, that I think was the turning point for the Warriors season. They came so close in so many games, but just couldn't get over that hump and turn that close game into a closeout victory. Their overall grade for me is a C- because I was so high on the bandwagon. I was in there. I was chanting, "Ooh, up the waz." And look, my primary team sucked. My secondary team sucked. So I just was a cancer to every team that I was supporting this season. Sorry, guys. I almost jumped on that Bulldogs bandwagon. Don't worry, Tigers fans. You don't got to worry about me. I ain't coming over there.
We don't want you.
No one wants you.
That's all right. That's all right.
Over to you two.
Oh, the Waz. I mean, the year they had before, big things were expected. And then, I don't know, I guess they did the Waz thing, right, and brought us all back down to earth, which is a bit,
humbling.
Yeah. Anyway, so my surprise for me was the emergence of Mitchie Barnett. Not to say that he wasn't a good prop already, but I feel as though he kind of took it to that next level, and it culminated in his debut for New South Wales and Aussie. So he kind of really took that mantle, I think. He played well off of Adam Fanor-Blake. I don't know. Maybe he's just a really, really good Robin that he kind of gives us Batman vibes. Mitchie Barnett, because when you're playing with Adam Fanor-Blake, you kind of have to key in on him, right? Like he is, like we're talking S-tier level props. That's how good Adam Fanor-Blake is. So I'm wondering, did Mitchie Barnett, what's the word I'm looking for? Took advantage of that? I would say we'd find out next year, but he's about to be paired up with another, like, elite level prop. and James Fisher-Harris. So I'm wondering, is Mitchie Barnett really like a Batman level prop, or is he just a really, 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 really good Robin? But he was the biggest surprise for me, his emergence to being a rep player. And I think he could remain a rep player for a few years to come. My letdown, I thought they took a step back. Much was to be expected. You pretty much had most of the same team. They didn't lose many players from the year before, eh?
No, they gained Roger
Yeah,
Tuivasa-Sheck.
so
It's exactly the same team.
Yeah, and they added RTS and they got Harris Tavita back. So 2 players. You would have assumed that they would have built on last year and got better, but it just wasn't to be. The other letdown for me was Wade Egan. I think maybe they rely on him a bit too much. Because when he's on, they're good. But when he's injured or he's not, they kind of miss him. You can see it. His ball playing, he's got a bit of craftiness about him, about a ruck, which I think at times they missed. Also, Luke Metcalf, who would have thought, Lukefe would have been like the key to their team, right? Because even though he might not pass, they somehow seemed to win when he was there, when it was him and SJ. And then when he got that injury, it was just started to just trickle down. So yeah, that was kind of my lets down. I thought Wade Egan, good in patches. I thought he kind of needed to be a little bit more consistent. Also, pretty sure he was another one that was injured as well. He's got a rep for it. Needs, same as you. I went with the RTS situation. You got to figure that out. I don't think center's a spot for him. Honestly, I'd put him the fullback and put Chance at center. Tuopiki, you can buy your time. You're going to be there longer, So
it's not going to happen, though.
You might just have to wait, either be 18th man or a couple games at 14th man and just kill it in.
Because Tuopiki can kick. He's more accurate than Pompey.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
Can I entertain you guys in a chance at 6?
No.
Why not? The Warriors should give Chance the opportunity to play 6.
That's why
he played 6.
Coach.
He played 6 when the Warriors bet the Panthers.
Yeah.
They made sure to mention that last week.
Yep, they did. That's the only reason why I knew he played 6. It's because they wouldn't shut up about it.
Yeah, but that Panthers team was depleted. That doesn't count.
So were the Warriors all season.
But yeah, those are my needs. You need to sort out the RTS situation, figure that out. I think they'll go a long way into kind of getting them, I don't know, back to where they were, if that's even a thing. Key highlights, I've got 2 of them. One was obviously Sean Johnson's final game, final play. What a way to go out on that pass. And the other one was the home crowd. I think only team to sell out all the home games. Yeah. So that's got to be, does that make it even tough to be a fan? Because, you're finally going to watch the Wars, and then you're like, That one place that you could tell when they're having great seasons because it's packed out, or the year after it's packed out. But, all those other years when they're not doing great, we all the fans then. That's when you see the hearty Wars fan, I reckon.
To be fair, the Warriors Stadium isn't the biggest in terms of capacity.
True that.
It's probably on par with fucking Lighthearted Oval or some shit.
Okay, whoa. You hold up there. Go Media Stadium is like on par with Suncorp. I've never heard anyone call Suncorp the 8th wonder of the world.
How many people you get?
I've heard them call that the Storm's home ground. I've heard them call that the Dolphins' home ground.
Yeah, but how many people you fit at your stadium? We're talking about capacity.
What, at Lighthearted?
Yeah, like 13.
I'll let you know when it's upgraded.
Yeah. Yeah. What else did I? Anyway, finishing up with my overall grade, I actually gave them a C. Just high expectations, didn't quite meet the mark, fell a little bit short. A few things to work on, but a cool few surprises. I do expect them to be better next year, although I should stop saying that because I have a tendency to say every team is going to be better. Not every team can be better. So I don't know. But yeah, that's all I got.
I'll preface all this by saying, if you know me, you know I'm not a Warriors fan. I might like some of your players, can't stand you as a team. All right. My surprise. I'll be honest, my surprise was 2023. The fact that actually happened. That was my surprise. This year did not surprise me at all. Not in the slightest. My disappointment for the year was people believing it would happen again. It's probably my disappointment.
But you're gonna get more hate for this than you would have got for fucking pronouncing Ese Banu wrong.
Yeah, you know what? I hope the Warriors fans come for me because we got something in common. They support losers. I support a loser. Hey, come at me. Come at me, Waz fans. It's the one and only time you'll hear me call them the Waz. Jesus. The disappointments for this year was, not figuring out a way to utilize RTS to his best abilities. I don't know, he flopped in rugby as a centre, and who would have thought wasn't great at it when he came back here. I think did you guys think he should have been the fullback when he came back?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Just natural position.
I understood Webster saying, Chance will get the chance to lose the centre spot after the season he had. But, it's RTS. We saw him win WM at fullback. Chance had a good season, but he's never had that good of a season, no matter how much I like Chance. So, yeah, he should have...
No.
Roger should have been the fullback.
Yeah.
Roger. What else is there? Barnett, your point on Barnett. It's tough, right? Because I liked Barnett when he was in Newcastle. And then I don't know what happened. He just disappeared. Barnett at times on Newcastle was the guy for them just because he was basically all alone while Newcastle were winning their wooden spoons. I think he can be the Batman, but we're just never going to get to see it. We're never going to get to see it unless he leaves the Warriors. What else was disappointing? Try not to hate on them so much. Their health all season, right? That was the disappointment. Egan, when he was healthy, there were calls for him to potentially be in the Origin frame. I didn't think he was going to get there, but the form he was in certainly warranted him being in the conversation. Capel, I thought he would be a bit better than he was this year. I thought he was pretty important for the Broncos last year, and when they let him go, I thought that was kind of. I know you two are chatting shit. I know this guy here is silent and chatting shit.
It's the Capewell comment.
Was he not important for the Broncos last year? I felt they let him go a year too early.
Didn't look like it though.
Huh? Well, for the Warriors.
Yeah. Looked like we let him go at the right time.
I don't know. Would you rather have him or Piakura?
Man, neither.
but for this year, Piakura just, I don't know. I swear he got concussed.
Nah, because he ended up playing fucking centre the way Kevin played this fucking team.
Ricky ended up a centre and showed
got
pretty
burned
quickly
because Pierre could have game 3 versus Penrith, played centre and got fucking torched in the first half.
Yes, and that would have been capable.
And then they switched sides and Ricky went to centre and then Katoni went over. Katoni was the defining factor on that edge, both in that game.
Yeah, that's just Katoni in general. But
wicked player.
Anyway, back to Warriors. I thought Capel would have a bit more impact on the Warriors this year. Granted, everything we have to say, right? You take it with a pinch of salt because they were that injured. Their needs for next year, they need to get healthy. They need Metcalf to put together 20 games, 18 games. They just need him to play, right? They can't have him play 3-4 games, miss the next 6 to 8 weeks, and then he plays again, and then he's injured again. They need that. I think Tamati, when I was watching the Warriors without SJ, because I don't like SJ, Tamati actually looked really good at 7. Like when he knew he was the lead 7, he knew it kind of like revolved around him. I thought he actually looked really good. So I think if you give him a chance to do that, like they might go all right. But like a lot of that revolves around is, can Metcalf stay healthy? Can Metcalf stay healthy? What kind of impact is Fisher Harris going to have on the team? Most importantly, the young ones coming through. Because Tohu, man, I love Tohu, but he's on his last legs.
He's a veteran.
19th man is what I reckon.
Assistant coach.
Yeah, they need some of those young forwards that are coming through to pop really, because they do have a little bit aging. Like Capel's kind of old. Tohu just looks like he's on his last legs. Fisher Harris, you have a real chance to burn him out early if you're not going to have like at least decent forwards coming through. Like I know they just re-signed
Jackson Ford.
Yeah, Jackson Ford. They just re-signed him for I think 2 more years. So at least they've got like a decent-ish like forward, but they need a few more, right? They need a few more. They kind of need to put Tohu on the JT minutes rotation. That they've got to figure out where RTS is going to play again next year, because they re-signed Tuapiki. I don't know. If your goal is to try and win immediately, then it's like RTS has to be a fullback next year. That's what they need to have happen. So now they need a wing. They need to find a wing because they let Montoya go. I don't know what their younger wings look like. And then my one key highlight. I was going to say the SJ pass, but my one key highlight, their whole season. Their whole season was a highlight for me. We might have sucked, but so did they. And their grade for the season, A+. I couldn't have asked for more. Couldn't have asked for more from this season.
Well, there you go, Warriors fans. You know who to hit up in the comments. Sam the Tiger Man. Next up, we've got for review the most hated team in Brisbane, the Dolphins.
Broncos.
All right, 2. You're starting us off, brother.
Are we actually doing the Dolphins?
Yeah, man, we'll speed round it.
Oh, okay, well, fuck. I had your team down. Never mind.
That's
Alrighty.
mine last week.
Oh, yeah. Totally forgot about that. Anyway. So, the Dolphins. My surprise for the Dolphins. Jeez. What was it? Probably be the renaissance of Cody. I thought he had a real good year. Kind of looked like he was on his way to the Super League. But he played well. That's where he was headed. So got to give credit to him. I think he always had it. He was always just a bit too up and down. Maybe it was the Wayne Bennett magic. The other surprise would be the return of Tavita Pangai Jr. Who apparently doesn't like to be told what to do from the little halves, but then went back to a team that got told what to do. He played good, though. You knew Wayne Bennett would be able to control him, and he did. He had moments where he was good, kind of give you the flashes of what could have been, but that's all he's really known for, is giving you flashes of what he could be, and then he shows you what he won't be by all the other bad things he doesn't do. I thought he played well enough to get another contract in the NRL, but he actually went to the Super League. So good riddance is all I've got to say there. Let down. Oh, I mean, they were thereabouts, weren't they? They were kind of like the Dragons, another team that was in the 8 for most of the season, and they let it slip away. So look, man, you got to be able to ice those moments. You got to be able to win games that you should be winning. Give yourselves a chance to make that 8. And yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the ladder right now. They were, where is it? Where's their points? 28 Yeah, one game out of. That's right, because they lost the second to last game, which ended their season, right?
Who, the Dolphins?
Yeah. Or did
No,
they
they
get
lost the
into the
last round.
last round where they
Yeah.
still had a chance?
It
Because it
was
was.
them or the Knights.
Yeah, that's right. And it was the Dragons who, because they lost the week before, were out completely. So, look, I mean, needs. We've talked about it, right? They need someone in the halves, maybe another prop. Well, I guess they got one of the Safidi twins. I think Flegler. We don't even know if he comes back. But if he does, and he can get to the Flegler level that we know, I think he changes everything. That's how good he is. Oh, there was my other surprise, Max Plath, the 13. I like their juniors they had coming through. Jack Bostock. I gave him flowers. No one thought he should have won Rookie of the Year. I didn't think he should have won Rookie of the Year. But on the list, I thought he had an outside chance. I was like, oh, he could be a smoky because I thought he was pretty consistent. Ends up winning it. Nobody knows how, but he got it. Can't knock the man for that. Kurt Donahue, I thought he was good in his moments that he had. Max Plath, I think he's just a rugby league player to me. He just looks like an NRL player. Does he have superstar written all over him? I don't know about that. But you can tell by the way he plays that he's going to be around for a long time. I'm thinking, potentially 200 plus games in the league. I think he's still quite young. So that's not far-fetched. I think he's someone you can build around. So they did have moments. The young ones coming through. Letdowns, yeah. When you have a chance to make the 8, you just have to take it. Needs, we talked about it. They bring in Ben Hunt. I think they might have a chance to go to the next level. I don't know what they do with Cody if he gets another contract. Herbie kind of started rounding form. I do think he'll be better this year. Having a year there, I think he'll be a lot better for it. Key highlights. Did I have any for them? Can't remember. To be honest, I can't really remember much from their season. Might have been watching Jake Avarillo play for my Bulldog. So I do have a soft spot for him. That not really. That's about all I got for you. The grade, I've got to change it because it was the grade for the Broncos.
Went from an F to a D.
No, I've got them. I've got them as a B. Again, it goes on where I thought they would be relative to the season, and I thought they would be contending for a wooden spoon. And for most of the season, they were contending for a place in the 8. They had a chance at it, didn't take it, so they kind of knocks them down. But overall, solid. B is what I got for them. Yeah, that's all I got.
Kapai.
Who was that? Emil, you?
You, brother. Samuel Aurelius Morpheus Dodonsky Tarangi the Third.
The third. Yeah, my surprise for this team. Yeah, it's Max Plath. Like, he was.
He looks like a bulldog to me.
He looks like a lot of things. He looks like a future Origin player is what he looks like. I'm pretty high on him. He's 23, so he's a bit older than I thought he would be. But
okay, yeah.
Even still, like, hell, health. As long as he's like doesn't have any major health concerns, he probably gets 200, maybe 250. But yeah, he's a really good player. He's a really, really good player. Herbie, I was high on Herbie last year. He had a disappointing start to the season, but the way he ended it was really, it was really good. Somehow he made it into the center of the year conversations. I didn't. It's kind of tough, right? Because I thought it was kind of a one-horse race, and whoever was second didn't really concern me. Who else? Trey Fuller. I thought he was really good for them when he got the opportunities. Granted, everything I've heard about Trey is that he was really good as a young gun. Then I don't really know what happened, but he finally got his opportunity, and man, did he take it. Disappointments. it's tough because I didn't have them as a top 8 side going into the season, but after probably round 10, I was like, oh, they're a lock. Like, they're going to finish in the top 6, regardless of what happens. But for them to kind of peter out towards the end of the season, much like they did last year, it's like, what was it's not surprising. It's still a little disappointing considering how, where they were. Other than that, disappointments probably. It's tough. For me, it's tough because Isaiah Katoa is a really young player, but I thought after last year he might take a big step forward, and to me he didn't really improve at the rate I thought he would. So it's a little bit of that. Their other disappointments are probably Lemuelu. I thought he was going to have a much better season than what he ended up having. But yeah, I don't really have too many disappointments for this team. What they need for next season, they need to hope the Wayne Bennett curse doesn't kick in. Because that's Christian Wolf taking over from Wayne Bennett, and we've seen what happens when Wayne leaves clubs. They kind of free fall with their kind of lack of depth. That's a real concern, especially considering they've got an aging forward pack. Jesse's retired. Kenny doesn't exactly have a ton of time left in the league. Felice, I don't know. He's good for what you need him for, but in terms of being a consistent player who you can kind of count on week in, week out, I don't really think he's at that stage of his career anymore. Mark Nichols, he's another, all these guys are they're old, right? So there's the real chance that next year they kind of drop off because everyone does a little bit like what the Warriors did with the older players regress. So it's going to be can these young players take a step forward? Can they get a Ben Hunt to try and mentor Katoa a little bit, or sort of ease the burden on him? Because there are times, right, where Cody's not the most creative player in the world, but also Cody and Katoa also have a pretty good chemistry. There've been quite a few tries that Cody scored this year because him and Katoa see the same thing. So it's an early grubber through the line, and he's there. But yeah, needs for next year, it's probably more so. I don't really think they need a lot for next year. They just need to hope the old guys don't regress, and then they need to find a way to sort of restock the forward pack for the years after. That's probably where I'm more concerned about. And then one key highlight, the demo job they did on the Broncos. That was a bloody good highlight. My overall grade for them, though, is probably a A-. I liked what they did for a lot of the year. They predictably fell off because they don't have the squad depth that they need yet. What do you got for us, Ra?
Yeah, my biggest surprise, and one thing I will say is you're right about the depth, but I think they would have had it had Flegler not had the nerve injury that he has had. My biggest surprise is on that. His nerve surgery went underway last month or this month coming. Should it fail, he faces the prospect of early retirement. However, if he is forced into early retirement, Flegler would still receive the entirety of his 4-year contract, a $3 million deal, which would be exempt from the Dolphins' salary cap, ensuring his financial security and that the Dolphins aren't crippled by an unforeseen circumstance, which is unfortunate. It was a nerve injury that he couldn't overcome, and therefore he will undergo surgery. It's not guaranteed that the surgery will fix his injury. it's something that they won't even know until 12 months, 6 to 12 months after the surgery, whether or not the injury has recovered enough for him to continue playing rugby league, or whether that's it.
Damn, so he misses next
Stands
season.
up. Yeah. So that I think is the biggest surprise. I don't think that's a letdown at all. That's just a big surprise. Is that the severity of his injury, and as a former Bronco, I wish him nothing but the best, and hopefully he recovers well. And if not, hopefully he recovers well enough to, carry on with a somewhat normal life post rugby league. That this isn't one of those chronic injuries that he has to deal with. My biggest letdown, I guess, is like you said, Sam, that depth. That depth didn't get them very far in the season, but almost doesn't get you to the big dance. So that, for me, is the biggest letdown. Needs for next season is more depth. Across the board, like you say, they're an aging team. You're not too sure how much longer a lot of those players left. How many downs they have left on the field. So they need to start reloading and potentially maybe think about Flegler as no longer on the team, just so you're not building a team around him and then later find out that he's no longer able to play footy. So just sort of, if he comes back, that's a great bonus to have. But if he doesn't, build your team regardless. One key highlight for me, I'm a hater. It was that last game against Newcastle. That was the biggest game of the season, and they blew it. Win, they're in. Lose, they're out, and they blew it. That's the biggest highlight for me. Overall, though, on the season, given that it was Wayno's last hurrah with the Dolphins, and all that he's done for this team is quite a lot. He's turned it from zero to somewhat a hero in the space of 2 years. B plus, A minus. That's what we give them. I think that's fair. I mean, I gave the Broncos a fucking F, so. And I hate the Dolphins, man. All right. We're almost done, ladies and gentlemen. We are heading over now to the TAB, sponsored by Ezra Mam and Uber. Ladies and gentlemen, if you need to get somewhere and you are intoxicated, call an Uber. Don't hit an Uber. All right. Big plays and paydays. One thing I will also think is, how about a Katoa trifecta? We're always on the trifecta, the Travojevic trifecta, well, the Katoa trifecta, ladies and gentlemen, is paying $693 with a $10 input. And that is Sione Ali and Isaiah Katoa all scoring a try. My big play for a payday, is Haumole Olakau'atu being the first try scorer in New Zealand, winning overall, and then Jermaine Isako on a double, and Ali Katoa anytime try scorer. $10, ladies and gentlemen. $10 returns $19,894.90. Take that to the bank.
Oh, I'll follow that up. My one's not as extravagant as that, but this little $10 same game multi is get your return of $3,837. And it looks like this. We have gone with the Kiwis to win. We've gone with winning margin of 13 plus. Your anytime try scorers are as followed: Will Warbrick, Jermaine Isako, Keanu Kinney, Olakau'atu, and Lehi Hopewari. So yeah, that's how I think it's gonna go, and that's what the $10 get you, Whānau. What do you got, Sam?
You got 2 minutes.
Bro, we've all got like really similar multis. I'll go with the one I've got anyway. The one I've got is I've taken the under on points. I think both teams struggle to score points. What an absolute shock. So I'm taking under the 44.5 points. I've got Jermaine Isako, Olakau'atu to score, and I think this week against a tiring Tongan forward pack, Phoenix Crossan is actually going to look to go out of dummy half. So I think Crossan gets over for a try as well.
Oh.
You put $10 on that, that pays out at $1,644.60.
Moriore te whānau. Remember, if you're drinking, don't drive. Order an Uber. Ride with an Uber. Don't crash into the Uber. This was sponsored by Uber. Not actually. We're still looking for sponsors. If you want to sponsor us, holla. Our email at 99dreams.co.nz, and we'll talk about it. But anyway, what a show. We've had fun. I've had fun. This was a good one. We got a lot out there. This was a lot of content. 2 hours worth. I didn't realize we were talking that much. I looked at one point, it was 30 minutes in, and now it's 2 hours. If you're still listening, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate it. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, share it with a pedophile. Whoa. Man, you gotta say controversial shit to get people to go, what? Anyway.
I did. I bagged the whole Warriors season. You best believe that's getting up on some message boards. Oh, look at this podcast.
Definitely. But anyway, that's all from me, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share it with a homie. Over to you, Sam.
Yep. I just want to give a shout out to Matt Dingo. Matt Dingo, Scotty Too Hottie, The Big Fish. What an exciting name that one was.
Not the big fish.
Yeah. But also, it is fish, so it's kind of shocked that he went with that answer. But, you got problems with what I said, Warriors fans? Tough. You know where to comment.
Text him, 027.
Nah, dude, do not text me. Do not text me. You will get aired. But yeah, man, send for me in the comments if you want to have a little cry. But other than that, shout out to all the listeners. Shout out to 99 Dreams. And other than that, let's go, Kiwis, man. Let's get a win this weekend, please. Stacey, give Chance an opportunity to play 6 or put him at fullback. Over to you two.
Yes, as always, we want to give a shout out to all our friends in whānau, both near and far. We really do appreciate the support here at the practice run. It has been a long episode. We won't keep you around any longer, but yes, surely the boys in the Wahine get up this weekend. It's been a great weekend for Aotearoa in general for sports lately. You would know if you watched the last episode. But yes, we will catch you next Tuesday for our recap of the weekend's game, and will hopefully be a preview. We'll look into the finals for us against the Kangaroos or the Aussie team again. But other than that, whānau, we will see you then. As always, stay safe. Remember, chur, mā te wā.